Looks can be deceiving. One small mistake and it all starts coming apart. The magic isn't the tile, it's in the prep. So let's break it down how to get it right the first time. Hey everyone, welcome back to Texas DIY Coach. Today I'm going to talk about tile and coping with a DIY build that I did and some of the lessons learned for you on your DIY build. This is really where you start to see the beautiful aspects of your pool take shape. The details here can make a huge difference in the final look and durability. We're going to cover what you need to know about selecting, installing, and maintaining your pool tile and coping. Let's start with coping. Coping is the material that caps the edge of your pool shell. It's not just decorative, it protects the structure of the pool and it provides a safe edge for swimmers. You've got a lot of options. Typically, it's either stone coping, brick, or even concrete coping. Now, stone for me was my choice. It's beautiful, it's durable, but it's heavier and it definitely costs more. Brick is a good choice as well, and now concrete is something that a lot of people overlook. It's versatile, it can be molded into any shape or style or even incorporated into the pool itself. All of these choices can look fantastic if installed correctly, and each has its own little maintenance considerations. Before we actually start installing anything though, there's a critical step that your installer must do before beginning the job, and that's preparing your gunite shell. The surface has got to be clean. Definitely you want to make sure your gunite or shotcrete shell is fully cured and slightly roughened. So you remember shotcrete gets a little bit more smooth. Gunites are usually already really rough. For me, I followed the manufacturer's recommending curing timeline, which was a full 28 days before I did anything to that shell. Once the curing's done, you need to clean it, and then they usually use a full grade thinset or mastic. See, most tile adhesives are not made to be fully or constantly submerged underwater. So they'll apply this special mastic as a base to kind of seal the gunite and seal or prepare the tile to be attached. And they'll use a flexible board or a straight edge across the bottom of the tiles as you see here. And that's to set the tile correctly and ensure that the tile is level so that your water line is completely or perfectly even across your tiles. And it also ensures that the thinset is thick enough to form a proper waterproof barrier behind the tile. Taking this extra time here will prevent the tiles from popping off, from having uneven water lines, or even leaks through the tile into the gunite. Next is tile. Pool tile sits just below the coping, usually at the water line. You can go with porcelain tile, glass tile, some other hybrid materials, but there's some important considerations. Porcelain is tough. It's less slippery and great for hot climates. Glass, beautiful. However, it really shines in the sunlight. However, it's much more difficult and a lot more cost added to your pool project. You'll see on my pool, I did basically both extremes. Additionally, you want to think about size. 6-inch pool tiles is the standard. That's usually what you get in a standard package if you're building a pool. The nice thing about a 6-inch porcelain tile, easier to clean. Smaller tiles, more grout lines, harder to clean. You see on my pool, glass, more subject to damage, slipperier. The smaller the tile, harder to clean. And you'll see on mine, I did both. I have 6-inch at the water line, but the spillover is 1-inch. So I kind of went with both extremes there. But you want to make sure when picking your tile, you consider the style, the durability, and your local climate. Well, installing coping and tile is about precision. For coping, you want to make sure it's completely leveled, properly anchored, and has a slight overhang for water runoff. Your tile, we talked about the adhesive and grout, that's critical. You don't want your tiles coming loose later. Using the more expensive grout and adhesive for water, wet, and outdoor conditions is critical. Also think about future maintenance. Like I said, smooth surfaces clean easily, textured stone needs a lot more attention. Now, regional factors. Where you live matters. In hot, sunny climates, some stones and tiles can get extremely hot to the touch. For us living in South Texas, this is exactly why I went with travertine. Travertine's a natural stone that actually gets less hot than concrete. In colder climates, you got to worry about freezing problems, water upheaval. So you want a material that's properly bounded, knowing those concerns that you're going to have. The bottom line is, no matter what, you want to make sure you talk to your tile and stone installer and install good quality materials that are appropriate for your local environment. Once your coping and tile are installed, maintenance is key. You want to make sure you clean it regularly to prevent calcium buildup. We call this scale sometimes. If you let that scale get too big, it just becomes a pain to get off. While you're cleaning scale and sealing your coping, if you're stone, you want to inspect the coping for cracks or chips. There are a lot of things that professionals can do to repair minor problems when you catch them early. So catch them early and it's not that expensive. You let it go, it becomes a major, major problem. You want to make sure you're using the right cleaners. Keep an eye on your grout. If it starts to chip out or fall away, you need to get that repaired immediately. There's a lot of DIY options for that, or call your tile installer. A lot of times they'll come in and fix it real quick as part of their warranty work. If you do all of this, you'll keep your pool looking great for decades. So that's the overview of everything you need to know about tile and coping. I hope you enjoyed watching some of my pool tile go in. Next up, we'll show you the process of how we went through regrading the property, setting the deck, the retaining wall, and so on.